behind an armed robbery at a convenience store, plus how a Fargo woman is using social media to find her biological dad. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
The Bison football season has been anything but normal this year. The home opener was on a Sunday in February. The Bison lost their second game, and the play-by-play voice that fans are used to has been on injured reserve. But as Valley News Team's Lisa Badeau reports tonight, Brian Shawn will be back on TV this weekend, and he has a new game plan to defeat the cancer that benched him from the broadcast booth for a few weeks.
Trey Lance breaking free. He's going to take it all the way for the first touchdown here in 2019.
The TV voice of Bison football was sidelined this season by an unlikely opponent.
In the span of 14 days, you go from being perfectly fine and healthy to being someone that needs to have an emergency surgery and start having chemotherapy to cure you.
A cancer diagnosis was not part of his game plan. Brian has been calling Bison games for more than 9 years.
I have not had to watch a Bison football game on KVLY in a decade. And here I am watching a Bison. It was just very surreal. It was a very surreal deal, and it really stunk.
Field is breaking free.
Brian's love of the game is obvious, but the strong voice you hear on TV trembles when he thinks about his wife and daughter as he now fights colon cancer.
I was really scared about that. You know, I was really, really scared about leaving them and not being there for them and not being there for my daughter when she's going through these important stages of life.
Jessica Shawn says their world was quickly turned upside down.
And the doctor just said he needed to talk to me in another room, and my heart just sank. And he kept talking to me, and I was trying to stay in the moment, but I was just in such shock. All I could see was down the hall was Amelia's little feet kicking underneath the curtain. And just like, what's going to happen to her world? And is she going to grow up with a dad?
Genetic testing was the crucial catch. Tests found Brian had a condition that put him at risk for colon cancer. The screening confirmed he already had it.
He was very fortunate. Brian was very fortunate. Yeah.
Brian had surgery right away. Doctors say 6 to 9 months later, Brian could have been in a much worse situation.
It was all the way around the colon. You know, it was obviously a big tumor.
While doctors at Roger Maris Cancer Center are putting together a new playbook, Bison Athletics is rallying around Brian.
Thinking about him and his family as he goes through this time, but I'll be excited to get him back.
And Brian says he feels the support of the herd.
Yeah, way more than I thought I would. From Coach Entz and calling me and hearing from players, from having Zeb Nolan send me a message. It's just it's flattering, it's humbling, it's overwhelming.
Brian recognizes he has a long road ahead of him, but says his wife and daughter give him the drive he needs to beat this.
I'm very thankful, and I praise God that it all worked out the way it did. And yeah, it's pretty wild.
One-on-one coverage of the end.
And it is clear the strength of the herd will be behind him every step of the way. Lisa Badeau, Valley News Live.
The genetic test that Brian had was the Sanford chip. It costs $50. Sanford says the testing they typically order for people with a suspicious personal or family history of cancer is often covered by insurance. And you can hear Brian tomorrow. The Bison are back at home taking on Illinois State. Our pregame show starts at 1:30. Kickoff is set for 2:30. You can catch all the action on KVLY. A North Fargo man has been arrested for felony armed robbery. Police say they got a call around 4:30 this afternoon for an armed robbery in the 700 block of North University Drive at the gas station next to Family Fair. Police were seen walking around with guns, searching the back of a car at Leisure Laundry next door. 28-year-old Peter Palmer was found shortly after at a nearby apartment. The gas station employee tells us they're thankful no one was hurt. The Polk County Sheriff's Office is warning you about a scam that involves cash advance loans. There are a few things to look out for. The Polk County Sheriff says it comes from a man who says he's an attorney named Paul Anderson, who says a lawsuit has been filed against you for failing to pay a loan. The email is very detailed with company names, loan account numbers, and dates. There's also an invoice attached to the email, and it gives you different payment options. The sheriff's office says don't respond to it and don't send any money. Another strain of ransomware could impact computer networks. It's called Deer Cry, and Microsoft is warning about it, saying it can cause networks to lock up by taking advantage of security gaps. It's unclear who may be behind the new ransomware. New tonight at 10, a Fargo woman is searching for answers and closure. She has spent the last month searching for her biological father, and she says she can't do it alone. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie shares her story.
Sarah Raisler grew up in a big, tight-knit Fargo family. Mom and dad, 4 brothers and a sister. She's somewhere in the middle, but she's always felt something was a little off.
I've always kind of not felt different from my siblings, but I always kind of looked different. People ask questions.
And she was right. After 18 years, Sarah says her mom sat her down with news that would forever change her life. The dad she knew was not her biological father.
I told her I don't want to know anything. I said I'm happy with my family and I don't need to know.
But as time moved forward, so did her urge to unlock the mysteries of her roots. She turned to Ancestry DNA, started making phone calls, even posting to social media. Through it all, she hasn't been able to find her dad.
What I know is that his name is Mohammed. He was not born in the United States. He came here either early 2000s or a little bit before that.
She says he worked with her mom at a place in Fargo that was called the Smokers Factory, and they think he's still in the area.
I know I'll be fine without knowing, but in the back of my head, it's just a lot of questions.
Questions Sarah says she hopes to someday find with the support of her family and help of the community. In Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
If you'd like to help Sarah and spread the word, you can find and share this story on our Facebook page. The first lawmaker in North Dakota's history to be expelled from his position has now been replaced. Dory Hawk will be filling the seat of former Representative Luke Simons. She has worked as the Republican District 36 Secretary Treasurer for many years. The replacement comes one day after Simons said he would not challenge House lawmakers' decision to expel him due to allegations of harassment. Some Minnesota businesses are thankful that Governor Tim Walz is dialing back the COVID restrictions next week. It means bars and restaurants can operate at 75% capacity, while gyms and indoor event venues can move to 50%. But many businesses are still frustrated, asking why can't the changes go into effect this weekend, and why is the curfew still 11 p.m.?
Let people come out that want to come out. Let us open. And the people that are, so many people have been vaccinated now, so many people have had it. We're able to open a little bit, and the perception is that that's good, and it is, but we're far from out of the woods.
Governor Walz also rolled back restrictions on large venues, which goes into effect April 1st. That means the Minnesota Twins will be able to host up to 10,000 fans for their home opener next month at Target Field. Concordia College plans to offer more in-person courses this fall, along with more campus activities and events. The college has released its plans for the next school year, which includes allowing more students to live on campus. The college will continue to offer online and hybrid courses.
The Lord put me here for a reason, and this is my chance to testify.
Up next, a wrestler who knows no fear. We'll tell you why his opponents might think they have the advantage, but they think twice once they hit the mat. But first, if you need another reason to look forward to this weekend, the forecast has you covered. Nathan is next, right after the break.